And then let's see, the other thing was for the bank statements. I don't know if you had any issues with bank statements, but I do kind of want to just go over a few different bank statements because there are not all bank statements look the same, especially now that we are getting a few new ones. So as you know, through our how to label, we always put bank statement, the bank name, the last 4 digits of the bank account, the last date of the account, the statement, with the borrower's name. If it's a transaction history, we will indicate whether it's transaction history and the dates for that transaction history. If it's a 401k, we will put whether it's a 401k. So, for example, this one, anywhere where you see checking or savings or retirements, 401k, IRA, so IRA, Roth, those are all going to be, you're going to consider those all asset document, and we always want to put bank statement first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There are some that have different, several accounts.
Mhm.
So for example, this one here, it's a consolidated statement. So because it has the checking and the savings together, we're going to indicate last 4 digits of both accounts, not just the 8277. We have to indicate both of them.
Mhm.
So this Robinhood, it looks a little bit different than the last few that I have shown you, that it has, it has a breakdown of the accounts, and it has details of like the money going in, being deposited, transferred out, all the details, right? The
Mhm.
Robinhood one, it's a stock, so it is a little bit different. This one does have an account number. Not all stocks have account numbers. So
Mhm.
when we don't have an account number, we can just go ahead and omit it, but we do want to indicate always the bank name.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now let's see.
And for the consolidated bank accounts, do we put the both to bank account number and then just put dash in the middle? Or
You would just put the an underscore, yeah.
oh, okay.
So for example, I have one here. So this one had several. So this one has, so it's bank statement. It should be spelled out Wells Fargo, and then it just separates all the accounts within it. It has the date of the last statement and then the borrower's name, or
Okay.
the account holder name. So we just want to indicate all the last 4 of all the accounts. So this one, as you can tell, all the accounts are on there. And then let me look at a transaction history. I think she has one. So the transaction history, really what you want to look for is, again, the account information, but most importantly, it's just all the actual transactions going on. So in this case, it goes from April all the way until June. So usually the way we would go if we needed the transaction history, we wouldn't need this many months for a transaction history because we already have the bank statement. So usually the way we want the transaction history for the bank statement from the last date of the account. So in this case, for example, this savings 1648, we would want the transaction history from 6:30 to, let's say, today, right? So then whenever he gets this transaction history, the last one should be 6:30 and then today's date. That's
Okay.
usually how we want the transaction histories, but not all borrowers know how to print that. So as long as it does cover the dates that we need to cover, then we're okay.
Okay.
Okay, the CD account is also a statement. So as you can see, it has the bank name and an account number. So for this one, you could indicate whether it's a CD or not, but as long as it has the last 4 digits, then we're okay. So as long as you have all the big dates, like the date, the account, and the bank name, that should be more than enough. The only one that we really want to indicate is for the transaction history, because sometimes we need to check for the EMD, right? So that's where we would, for example, if this was the EMD, we would just need to, I would just highlight it so that way I know this is what I was looking for through this transaction history.
Okay.
Okay, and then I think that's about it. Do you have any questions?